Okay, so I'm going to ask you the first question. We have the theme of today is the Kinéis and Rocket Lab, revolutionizing IoT and access to space. So, please, what's your latest space news?
Okay, so good morning everyone. So from Kinéis side, so as you all remember probably, Kinéis is a global satellite connectivity provider, and we have today several thousands of devices connected to an existing system of 9 satellites. And we launched, thanks to Rocket Lab in June, our first new 5 satellites that are in the sky right now, that we are operating. And we're launching 5 new ones, no later than tomorrow night, if weather is good. And after that, we still have 15 more to launch. We raised 100 million euros 4 years ago to design, build, and launch this new 25 nanosatellite constellation to help revolutionize IoT connectivity for benefits of our clients. So yeah, the real space news is the new satellites that are up there that we are operating, and the new ones that will be launched in a few days.
Thank you. So Peter Beck.
Yeah, I mean, so Rocket Lab is an end-to-end space company, and what that means is we're lucky enough to have a launch vehicle and launch satellites. We also build satellites for other customers as well, and our vision here is to really make it as easy to get into orbit as possible for our customers. And we've got a number of exciting projects occurring right now. We have a very large launch vehicle in development called Electron, and that is a vehicle to lift 13,000 kilograms into low Earth orbit. And we have a number of satellites under manufacture, including for Globalstar and MDA, and also we're a prime on a national security project for the United States government. But by far the most exciting thing happening in space right now and within Rocket Lab is the launch of the Kinéis satellite in a couple of days' time.
Thank you. What problems will your company solve, or how are your solutions different?
So we're really working in the connectivity sector, and so we help our clients track, monitor, or alert from their assets they are tracking. So we have various issues for our clients that we're solving. First, we have 100% of the coverage of the surface of the planet that allows us to connect the devices of our clients. So some example for that, we can, so like I said, monitor. It can be small-scale fishing vessels. It can be rail wagon tracking. So our customers need to locate them, need to have some information of state about them, whether it's for a small-scale fishing vessel, whether the motor is still functioning, for example. We can monitor environment, like early fire detection. We have devices on the field, infrared, that can detect low level of CO2, that can then alert civil people that can then intervene to extinguish the fires. And so we can do a lot of applications like that. We monitor also infrastructures like high power lines to monitor the state. And so we have different customers, but what is really important is that the connectivity is working really on the whole planet, because today only 15% of the planet is covered by terrestrial networks. And so for a lot of people it's not just enough, and they want one device that can solve their problem all over the globe. So for big companies that have HQ anywhere in Europe, in the US or wherever, but several factories or sites around the world, it's really a huge plus to have this connectivity with small devices that are that can be as small as a thumb, that are really cheap, and also that have low energy consumption. And so this really is the 3 factors of size, of energy consumption, and price that makes the device unique and that can meet the clients' and customers' requirements.
Thank you.
Well, for me, I mean, I got into this business because, you know, you can have such an impact on Earth from space. And, you know, if you ever go into any rocket lab factories, the first thing you read as you enter the door is we go to space to improve life on Earth. And you've just heard, you know, such an amazing impact on Earth from Kinéis, and we get to be a part of that. So, in some respects, you know, sometimes I feel a little bit like an imposter because we get to participate in and sometimes enable these missions. And these missions have huge impacts, whether it's IoT, whether it's weather, whether it's Earth observation. We get to launch these spacecraft. Sometimes we get to build the satellites, and sometimes we just get to provide components into them. But you know, that is the wonderful thing about the space industry is you can literally take a little box of electronics, put it on orbit, and impact millions, or not even hundreds of millions of people's lives. So you know, we're very fortunate to be able to play a part in that, even if it's a small part.
Thank you. Next question is, what do you want to do, or what are you looking for to quickly become a world leader?
So that's a big question. Like I said to Peter like 10 minutes ago, the plan is first we launch the satellite. Well, they launch the satellites. We operate, it works, we open the service. We plan to open the first service early next year and the full service mid-year 2025. Then we can reach profitability within 3 years. Last year we made 6 million euro revenue. The idea is to triple that into the 3 years ahead. And then we think of the future. So to do that, we have to gain traction with our customers, which is what we do currently. We won some big contracts from government customers, also private customers, that help us to structure our offer, our products, so that we can have these references to then replicate our use cases that I just talked before on other countries and other customers. So we have to go fast, obviously, because of the competition and because of the cash we need, obviously, like every company, to go further. So this is really what we're transforming right now in Kinéis. We come from like space-focused company with the design of our satellites to already a client-focused company with the product, the IT products, and the IT solution we want to develop for our customers. And it's really what we are right now, and this is our main focus for the like 18 months ahead.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, for us, you know, on the launch side, Electron is currently, I think it's the third most frequently launched rocket in the world right now. So we, you know, want to continue to grow that launch cadence, and then of course we're trying to bring Neutron online to provide a bit of a balance to the force, if you will, for medium launch and lift. So that's a huge project for us. And then on the spacecraft and spacecraft component side, it's really about providing a sense of scale. The space industry is often plagued by small manufacturers and relatively subscale. And one of the things that we've been really focusing on is taking the components that you really need for a spacecraft and scaling that up. We're quite good at really difficult components and bringing them to the industry at scale. So that's really a core focus, and then of course building the complete satellite for our customers at scale as well.
Thank you. To finish, what is your vision of the future of space, or particularly as regards the development of nanosatellites and launchers?
I'm not sure I have a precise vision. I mean, there is a lot of opportunities that are going in the field of nanosatellites and in the field of what we're doing in connectivity. So there is different vision available, I would say, and the vision is more that we'll have a portfolio of solutions that go from proprietary nanosatellites. It's what we do today and what we choose to do when we designed the satellite a few years ago. And it's good from there to just uploading some software in existing constellation that you don't know what they're made of, and to just make your business available. So the vision could be to have several constellations out there. We have several players today that are aiming to do that. That can be configured with your software to meet your needs as a customer. So this is a great vision. It would prevent us of the hard work of making satellites, because then we would focus just on the software and we would just work like computer people work. But, well, everything is into the details. So the idea of having flying payloads that you can reconfigure on flight is not a new idea, and it's when you go into the details, what are the hardware available there, how much of reconfiguration is possible. It's really going into this detail that will give us the choice or not to act that way. So again, to go back to the vision, it's I think an opportunity to have a portfolio of solutions in space. And the space as a service model, I think, is really the way to go, because it's so hard to make space, it's so hard to go to space, and it's really expensive in terms of investment, that any company cannot do that. And so if we can share it in the way or the other, I think is really what could help to scale space services.
Thank you.
Well, I was pointed out recently that I've nearly spent 20 years in this industry, which makes me old and even got some grey hair to prove it. And I remember starting this when I first started. It was the promise of democratization of space, the promise that the commercial domain would outstrip the government domain with respect to demand and capability. And for the longest time, that was kind of a dream or a vision. And I'd say, in more recent years, that's become a reality. I mean, if you're going to launch, you don't go to approach a government anymore. You approach a commercial company. And if you look at a number of the constellations that are on orbit and going on orbit, these are things that would typically have been done by governments that are now being done by companies. So we are well and truly in the first innings of democratization of space, and I think that's super exciting. And suffice to say, I think the biggest thing that has yet to be done in space hasn't even been thought of yet. I liken it to, it's kind of a bit corny, but I liken it to the internet, and it feels like we've just sent our first email in the space industry. So I think so it's incredibly exciting times ahead, and we feel very privileged to be at this point in history to have a crack at making an impact.
Thank you. Are there any questions?
Thierry Bois-Vichny.